On Thursday, 20th of February, 2020, my drink expired. I went to a local pub in Peckham which had been rented out for a friend's birthday party. It was somewhere I had been many times before, so much so that I could probably walk home with my eyes closed. I had one drink, maybe two, with some friends and my sister before I left the house. I can remember everything about that night up until buying a drink from the bar and taking that first sip. There was a high compliment at the bar, so I bought 1, 2, 3 drinks, and I passed 2 back to my friends. And it was in that moment that my back was turned that I believe my drink expired. From that point on, everything goes black. I woke up the next day, thankfully in my own bed, still in my clothes from the night before, but covered in blood. And it was at that point that I knew that this was no ordinary hangover. I jumped out of bed, at which point I realised that my chin was ripped open and my nose was bleeding. And I went to my sister's room to fill in the blanks. She told me that she'd found me in the boys' toilets, at which point I had already fallen and smashed my face. She took me home and tried to fix up my injuries. She mentioned that I'd been vomiting, which I have vague memories of, but it's very unlike me. And I immediately felt numb. I knew that this was something out of my control, and still confused, I took myself to the A&E, where I spent 6 hours alone due to pre-COVID conditions, and I had never felt so isolated or lost. It was my second year in university, and I had just finished my Christmas exams. I eventually left the pub to go to a club with some girls from my class, but I lost them soon afterwards. I decided to get another drink from the bar because I knew that my flatmates would soon arrive. Put my drink on a table beside the dance floor. And then, less than 5 minutes later, I went back to lift up my drink. I finished it and went to the toilets, where I fixed my hair. That was the last thing I remember. The next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital, not knowing what happened or where I was. Turns out my drink had been spiked, and the last place I remember being was definitely in the girls' toilets, but they found me in an alleyway beside the nightclub. And nobody had known what had happened. It was the bouncers that found me. The nurse approached me in the hospital and told me that they had found traces of sedatives in my bloodstream and told me to take the morning after pill, just to be safe. And I had never been so scared in all my life. I felt violated, and I felt confused, and I was suspicious of everyone I'd seen after that for a very long time. Never doing that again.